Okay, so recording has been started. So for everyone, we have two candidates, which is Rohit Singate and Ravinder. But Ravinder will join a little bit late today. He just kept step outside. So Rohit, if you can just introduce quickly.
Yes, sir.
Can you please introduce yourself so other can aware about you?
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Rohit Shinte. Currently, I am working in HCL Techs. So, my overall experience is 2 years, but I didn't work in project. Still, I am in on bench. So that's it.
Okay, so this batch will be basically the mixed candidate, which already someone who has the freshers, just pass out from the college, and some of the already working on the IT industry. Okay, so for the freshers, just don't like confuse key how we can just manage these things. Okay, so at least this is the opportunity to learn from the experienced candidate as well, what kind of questions or troubleshooting they are facing in the real time. So you can just either you can just make a paper and note down what kind of questions they are asking, okay, in the session. So in the real times in future you will understand like what kind of questions, troubleshootings you will get, scenarios, how you can prepare yourself. So that is the opportunity actually for you. Okay, so just don't consider yourself like we are freshers, so how we can manage this experienced candidate questions. Okay, so even if you don't understand sometimes at the initial phase, so don't worry, you can just make a note of this topic wise what the questions others ask. Okay, because they are already working in the real time industry, so they know better than as a freshers. Okay, but gradually you will definitely once you learn these tools and you when you actually start working in that case you might it will get the benefit from these questions. So at least you are aware like yeah, this kind of questions will or scenario will come. So you can just prepare yourself for that. Let me share my screen. Let me know once it's visible. It's is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just think a little bit different way. So because we need to fulfill the requirements from the in terms of the freshers candidate as well as the experienced candidate who is already working in the industry. Okay. So I just collected some pattern. So how we can go further. This is the first batch for the special DevOps. Normally, I cover the AWS batch, but this is the first DevOps batch. So I just thought like let's do proper with the user requirements will fulfill based on the current market situation. Okay. So first we will understand what is the DevOps. Okay. Then which tools we need to learn in the DevOps. Okay. Because DevOps is not a single tool. It's like a methodology or culture. So if someone asks you what is the DevOps or is it a DevOps single tool? No. So DevOps is a culture or the methodology which organization adapting. Okay, they already started adapting, but the middle phase the organization they also starting to adopt this DevOps methodology. Okay, to make a process business streamline, because nowadays we are able to see the market is going very faster and user expectation demands like that. Okay, so we need to fulfill their requirement. If we fail to fulfill the requirements, business requirements, okay, or as a business organization, if they fail to fulfill the client requirement, so definitely they will lose their business. So that's why organization are moving to DevOps culture basically. Okay, so in DevOps tools, which basically just I'm just saying the generic way here. So which tools we need to learn basically. Okay, definitely this question we might come in our mind. Okay, so as we know, the cloud provider are the market leader. These are okay. Apart from this, there are multiple cloud provider are there, like Ali Cloud, your IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, like that. Okay, but if you look at the market situation, these are the market leaders. Okay, AWS, Azure, and the GCP. But out of this, most of the times project you might seen about this two use cases, AWS and Azure. Okay, nowadays Azure also grabbing the market quickly. So after AWS, definitely once you learn now AWS, if you have a later on stage, if you want to learn additional multi-cloud, you can just definitely go with this Azure and then GCP. It's depend upon your interest area and your grasping power over there. Okay. For now, you can just focus on the AWS. Okay. Then after this cloud, you will need to learn at least Linux part. Okay, not the core level, but at least how to use the sales, how to run the commands, how to write the script, then how to check the normal troubleshootings commands like that. Okay, and then how to add the disk space or something, just user management, file permission management like that. Okay, then definitely Git everywhere. Organization use Git for the, we will see in the details, but now just it is just a code management, repo management, versioning tool to maintain the application code basically in the organization. Okay, so then for the CI/CD pipeline or deployment tools, you can, these are the generic tools where the market is using. Apart from that, you might see in like a Circle CI or something, I think, or any other stuffs. There are lots of tools, or there are multiple organization. What the bigger organization, they might customize their own tools. Okay, there. So normally Jenkins, GitHub Actions, okay, GitLab CI, Harness. Harness is the new coming tools. Now in our current organization, we are using it. Okay. Anyone heard about this Harness before? This is the website for the Harness. Basically, this is the software delivery platform, which is we can use as a, CI/CD pipeline. Okay. I'm currently working on this CI/CD pipeline Harness. Okay. So it's initial learning phase. We are implementing in current project. So once I will get the knowledge on this, definitely in the future, I will just create video on this. This is just a CI/CD pipeline you can use for that for the deployment perspective. But most of the cases for now you can see in the market, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab CI/CD. Okay, they are using people. Then for the containerization, Docker, we need to learn. Then to make an architecture like a, so normally when we do practice at home, we use normally console based, right? We not use any ISC tool like infrastructure as a code. Okay. If I just log in here. So earlier we have seen in the 2-3 section session, we have created the resources by using manually. Okay. But in the real time industry, we don't get this console access. We need to work completely on the programmatic way, infrastructure as a code. Okay. So in the infrastructure as a code, you can see multiple tools like a Terraform, CDK, Cloud Formation. Okay. Cloud formation, it's a very lengthy script we need to write, but Terraform is very easy to learn, and CDK also very good to learn. I am already working on this CDK part. Okay, so Terraform also good. So in this batch, we will see about this Terraform. If you want to, apart from this, if you want to learn CDK, I have already prepared the playlist. I think a 10 video in my YouTube channel. You can just definitely refer that for the CDK. That also very interesting part. But the limitation is CDK only supports AWS as of now. Terraform supports multi-cloud. You can use integrate anywhere, Azure, GCP, or AWS. Okay. So that is the limitation for this cloud formation and CDK. Kubernetes, as we know about the containerization, orchestration, basically, we can manage the container pods, deployments, networking part, all the stuffs. Going forward, we will learn about this more about the Kubernetes. Okay. So don't worry about that for now. So for the monitoring perspective, we can use Grafana, ELK, or learn Prometheus, or one more tool is there, Nagios. Okay. Apart from this, there might be a multiple tools. You can see Datadog or something, I think. But these are the trending one like Grafana or ELK or Prometheus sometimes. Okay. Then any questions till now on the tools?
Sir, what is CDK?
CDK is a cloud development kit. It's just designed or developed by the AWS itself. So CDK is only, it's a similar to Terraform tools infrastructure as a code. So we can write down the CDK code over there to create the resources in the AWS cloud, like your VPC creation, RDS creation, your security group creation, S3 bucket, like that.
So thing is that this all the requirements is written by YAML. So could you please teach us some YAML parts?
Yeah, we will see in this. Yes. So going forward, we will see in learn the deeper area, like what we can cover in this, how to set up installation, integration with the AWS cloud, then how we can write the files, what is the modular wise, in the real time cases. Normally, when we do practicals, we write down everything in the main.tf file. Okay. So are you about talking this Kubernetes?
Yes.
Yeah, we will learn about that definitely. So we will create the pod deployments replica set over there. So don't worry. So apart from this, how much practice we need? Okay. First thing I would say, like, it's depend on the candidate grasping power, because every candidate is unique. Okay. Someone might learn quickly, someone might take some times, okay, to grab the knowledge or understanding area. Depends upon their grasping area. But ideally, if you have an average grasping power, so ideally more than 3 months is to maximum 2 months is sufficient to learn the tools. If you have a better than this grasping power, so definitely 1 or 1.5 month is sufficient. Why? Because you need to understand the basic concept first, theoretical part, then you need to perform the hands-on practicals. Then you can just configure some small to complex projects, basically like where the Git is involved, your CI/CD pipeline, your containerization, or any EC2 instance, or any Maven based or Java based applications like that. So you can do this basic project wise. So when you face actual real-time interviews, you can just explain better way. So how you can just configure this, because when we do project configuration or deployment, so we can learn basic stuffs here, because everything spoon feeding might not possible in the batch or any batches. I'm not saying for these batches. So but at least when we do hands-on practicals, we might come to the new questions at that time, or if we get any questions, troubleshooting areas like any errors, so we might not need to resolve that as well as part of the task. So ideally, 3 months is sufficient if you have if you consider as average grasping power. But at least you need to give the timing. Like, just take a serious note on that. At least your effort, give the efforts 2 hours per day or something after your office work or something. Okay. So for freshers who don't have any jobs, obviously they can go to the 3 hours or something per day, or depends upon their interest area, how much they can give the times per day. Okay. So you need to learn. You can learn the quickly. So I would go to this pattern. Basically, we will just first half of the part we will see theoretical part, because that is really important to go further, as consideration the already you are working in the different sectors. Okay. of a platform. So theoretical, then we will see practicals over there. Okay. Then till the next week, once we finish the batch, like the session today or tomorrow, okay, 2 days, then you will get 5 days, okay, for your buffer time. So in that case, we will give assignment. So in for 5 days, you can just cover that. Assignment will be based on the completed sessions, what we have completed. Okay. So in that also you need to complete the assignments before the next batch, next session start. Okay. Then interview questions during the sessions, I will give some interview questions, like yes, the last time I said, right, the 2 by 2 checks instance failed, or any other troubleshooting areas. So you can just either you can make a note under your diary, or you can just refer that recording video. Obviously, I have already interview questions ready, but as initial phase, I don't want to give you to make a more confusion. But if you are interested, who has the already experience, I can share with you if you need that. So you can just early stage, you can just refer that. What kind of questions in the will come in the real time interviews. And after the batch completion, definitely we can just review resume, and then we will take at least 2 mock interviews for everyone. Okay, if you are interested, because for first mock interviews, we will collect the feedback. So just don't worry about that. So what skills or any how to explain the answer basically, or where you need to upskill, like get more knowledge on the services. So we'll check there, and the second mock interview will be your like actual. So then after that, you can just definitely try. Or meantime, if you get any opportunity to give the real-time interviews, you can just definitely just try with that. So at least you will get idea what type of questions market is asking now. Okay, because now the interview pattern is changed. So now normally you seen in the earlier area, like you will give the first round or second round, and then might be a manager round or HR round directly. But now people are facing like because normal no, lots of fake candidates are coming in the market in the IT industry. Okay, by collecting the fake experience later. So now they give the interview preparation like they will just take first interview, then after the might be second round or then they will give us you assignment POC kind of way. Okay, they will give you like a Terraform, Kubernetes, Helm chart like that. They will give the assignments and you need to complete within a 2 or 3 days something. So based on that, they will just decide additional further action item. Nowadays, I have seen multiple candidates, which I just talked earlier. So they are doing this pattern. So you need to more focus on the theoretical plus practicals parts because doing hands-on practicals will get you give you more confidence for the these tools. So any doubts, concerns? Apart from this, we will also definitely go with this real-time troubleshooting. We will see what kind of even during the lecture, we will see this real-time troubleshootings wherever the possibles. And then after the batch complete, once we done this mock interviews and all, then we will see this live project, 2, 3 projects where the CI/CD pipeline and other stuffs involved, similar like a real-time. Also, I'm planning to set up the real-time project like where the Jira is involved. I will check if there are any free trial for 10 to 14 days available. So we can just do that installation and we will see who already working on this Jira ticket. So definitely they don't require, but as a fresher, the who are the freshers, they might get the benefits from this Jira ticketing system. Okay. Anyone? Any questions? Or do you want to suggest any things here? No? Okay. But assignment, which is the topic completed, you need to complete these assignments. Okay. If you're just giving the any reasons or something, we can exclude the medical emergency definitely. But apart from this, you have to complete these assignments, whichever we are giving in the after the session, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So because you get 5 days there to learn the theoretical part and do the assignments. Okay. Is that fine for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
sir.
the assignment, why I'm forcing you the assignment, insisting, because if you do or if you are on the same page, so you will get this knowledge because going forward, as of now you can see like you know you can able to see this graphical way like we are creating the resources graphical way, but when we jump to this Linux part or Git part, you will not see any graphical area here. Okay, that's why I don't want you guys to be disconnected here. So if you do compulsory hands-on practicals assignments whatever they given in the after the session Saturday Sunday, so you have to complete before the next session start. If you can just send me at this output what you have done, that also fine. Okay. Or as a Ganesh suggested last time, if you can collaborate yourself and you can just do group study, that also help lots of benefits because some might understand clearly, some might not understand. So you can just discuss about that and you can just do group study. You don't need to join this link after this. Even you can just use your Google, Google, what you can say, Google Meet link. It's a free of cost, so you can use that as well. Because for this session, I need to be online and I need to approve your joining here. So that's why you can use Google Meet. It's easy to use. So to cover, I think Rohit is just joined today. So for the syllabus wise, we cover about the most of the major services like AWS introduction, free tier setup. I think Rohit, you have a free tier account.
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. When you created.
Actually, last 4 6 months before I created.
Okay, you can use 5 to 6 months more, so which is fine. If you able to create new one, so you will get more 1 year extra to use free tier. But you can just as a 6 months, so you can use no issues. Existing one. Okay, so you can use like in this AWS like AWS console overview, we will see about the billing overview. AWS EC2, how to set up the and the manage. We will in that section we will see additional part like how to migrate the EC2 instance, how to take the backups, they automatically backups by using backup service. Okay, so you might seen some generic syllabus here, but when we do actual practicals or session, you might apart from this out of this syllabus we will learn more on this area. Okay, load balancer, auto scaling, IMA, user management, S3 bucket, Lambda function, API gateway, which is the serverless architecture. Okay, RDS, VPC for the network, CloudWatch and CloudTrail, which is also important. Then system manager, which is like your configuration manager, where you can just set up your non-production environment, daily stop and start, or any maintenance window, change maintenance window, something. Okay, or any storing the values there as using the parameter store. So going forward, we will learn in the details. Okay, then Route 53, which is the DNA service, then SNS for the notification service. Okay, and the most important service like ECS and the EKS cluster, which is containerization. Okay, we will see this. And also additional from this ECR container registry where we can push these images. Okay, then in Linux we will see about this introduction part, then file system structure, user and group management, file permission management, package management, like how to install the packages or something, troubleshooting commands, some like checking the logs or disk space area like that, how to write the sample script, shell scripting basically. Then we can just probably set up any database server or LAMP server. Okay, LAMP is basically Linux Apache MySQL PHP server, which is used for the web server hosting. Okay, which is been normally called as a web server in Nginx or Apache. So in the Git, we will see about the introduction to Git, Git workflow, project setup, how we can initialize the Git project on our local machine, Git commands, then branching strategy. This is the common questions you might face in the interview panel, in the interview. What is the branching strategy or what is the best branching strategy you follow? Okay. Again, Git troubleshootings. There in the Git troubleshooting, there might be different stuff like the major is Git conflict, why it happens. We will see when we actually start with this session. Okay. Then how to integrate this Git with the Jenkins or any other tools for the deployment perspective. Then in the Jenkins, we will see about the introduction, installation and configuration, user management, pipeline setup, and we will try to deploy some sample application there. Okay. So then we also see about the master slave architecture for the Jenkins. Okay. This question you might come into the real time interviews. Master slave architecture. For the Docker introduction, then installation and setup, how to write the Docker file, image creation, then how to push that image to Docker Hub or something, or ECN, ECR. Then volumes, compose, registry. Then for the Terraform introduction part, then installation and configuration. Then some basic of the Terraform variables, module wise in the real time, what we can use. Then remote state management, because this question will come in the interviews. What is the remote state management or how we can or S3 state management. Okay, so we will come to that later part when we actually start with this. Then Kubernetes introduction architecture, some of the configuration files. Okay, for the pod deployment replica sets and the other stuffs for the Kubernetes. Then for the monitorings, We can try Nagios or CloudWatch. Definitely, we will see in the AWS itself. Okay. Apart from this, we can try to install this graph on our Nagios. Okay. Then how to monitor the metrics and get the alerts. Okay. And I will cover some chat GPT prompt how we can use. Okay. So normally, I hope everyone is using chat GPT. So how you ask the questions in the chat GPT? You just normally straightforward ask the questions, or you module you customize it prompt.
Normally ask.
Okay. So to make more effective, I shown in the last batch or something, but I will show you in that how we can make a more effective. What kind of how to pass the proper requirement in the chat GPT, so we will get proper information. Okay, just don't consider 100% on the chat GPT, because they also add the disclaimer here. You can see here, chat GPT can make a mistakes. Consider checking important information. So don't consider like chat GPT will give you 100% accurate information. Sometimes they might be a false. Okay, there. So we need to correct it when we use that commands or any script in our environments. Okay, otherwise unnecessary it will create a lot of problems. If you, let's say for example, if you write any search, any shell scripting, in that shell scripting, if somehow by mistakenly they added the command like like this one, if you're already aware about the Linux. Okay, rm hyphen rm slash, then what will happen? Your system will corrupt, right? So we need to just, this is just example I'm giving, but we need to go very carefully while using the chat GPT prompt. Okay. So this syllabus we will cover. So any questions on this? So apart from this, I have already added some troubleshooting videos on my YouTube channels, like how to protect the load balancer, how to increase the disk space. Okay. That is not part of this session, but you can just refer those video as well. It's an additional part of this. Okay. Out of the syllabus. Any questions till now? This syllabus you can refer on my GitHub project. Okay, because it's very easy to use. So going forward, when you when we design the resume basically, so nowadays you can just create the project yourself on the GitHub by signing your Gmail ID or something. Okay, and you can just create your GitHub profile there, and you can just slowly once you get the knowledge, you can just maintain this GitHub project. So when you do your resume preparation, you can just mention this you have created the multiple projects. So that will give you some additional impression basically in the market. So some of the Lambda functions I already prepared here when I do a video for the YouTube channel. So you can see here. So last time I was launched the free bootcamp session. So apart from this session, if you're interested in this area, you can just definitely just refer this. Any questions, anyone?
Namdev, request you to please provide the chat GPT first. Because thing is that chat GPT we are using it on the daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
So request you to please take a session on the chat GPT first. Because
Mhm.
as per the your agenda, it will be showing in the last. So request you to.
Yeah, I mentioned in the last in the session, but just remind me when we start for the AWS itself. So I will show you some the way basically how we can use Chat GPT.
Yeah, not
So
an
if
issue.
hmm. So even freshers, the Aditya and the Sharad, you also can get the lots of benefits from here because you are the new into the market. So normally we use IT industry people use Stack Overflow. If you're not aware or who already aware, Stack Overflow. This is the common website where the lots of DevOps community upload their troubleshooting areas and all the stuffs here. Okay, Stack Overflow. But now, just honestly, when this ChatGPT launch, almost forget to use that Stack Overflow until and unless I'm not satisfying with this ChatGPT answer. So I use only rare case the Stack Overflow. So normally I will show you just sample example so you can just get idea. Let's say now we will start about the EC2 section, okay, which is already covered. Okay, definitely we will start the fresh now. So just if you want to create EC2 instance, so how you can give this prompt to the chat GPT so we can get the proper steps there. Okay, I'm just giving the sample example. So first you need to make it a chat GPT to order it like consider him as a DevOps expert. Okay, how we can make it act as a DevOps expert. So we are making him DevOps expert. Okay, so now and give me steps based on below my requirements. Okay, just don't give the requirement straightforward. Then you can just mention here in the hyphen and you can just mention like create EC2 instance with, let's say you consider T3 micro or something. Okay, just I'm giving the some any example. T3 micro with Amazon Linux OS. Okay, then in second line again give the hyphen and attach what you need when we launch EC2 instance this page, right? Create EBS volume with 20 GB. Okay, then attach elastic IP to this instance. What else we required? Enable termination protection. Okay, we have seen this right last session, how to enable the termination protection for the EC2 instance, because we don't want anyone accidentally delete that instance, right? Because it might be a very risky if it's a production server. Then you can whatever the requirement like a install Nginx web server by using user data script. Okay, so this time whatever the more requirements you can just add like this. Okay, and you can just press enter here. So with hyphen you can give this proper requirement. So he will give you proper step by step requirements based on what we have mentioned here. Okay, so let's check first. So create instance, he's just guiding like use the AWS management console, launch new EC2 instance T3 micro, then network settings. Yeah, we also forget about the VPC and network security group. So you can just add here, create the security groups like you can mention here, create security group and open SSH port for VPN IP. Okay, and just submit. So he will generate one more response. If you don't like this answer, there is a one more button. Acha, this is the just AWS CLI example he is giving. So if you don't like this answer, there is a button to regenerate. Okay, we can simply click on this. So it will generate more response. Again, if you don't satisfy with this answer, we can just again go with the same process. Like you can try to generate one more response. So a different way he can try. Okay, so now we can see last time for the first response he just giving the AWS CLI method, right? But when I click on this regenerate, so he will give the another method like a manual method. You can see this steps, permission protection, install this. You can copy this user data script in the when you create the instance. Okay, So this prompt is for just normal manual method. So where I can copy this, I will copy in our group. So for now, I can just copy in my, I will share it. Okay. For even I think I can share here as well, chat box. So normally what you will ask, are you asking the similar method or any other method you are using? If I just change this word here, act as a DevOps expert and give write Terraform code for below requirements. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, and just click on submit. If you have Kubernetes there, you can just mention here Kubernetes and whatever the you need pod, replica set, deployment or whatever. So you can see here. So he will generate the Terraform code for you. He is generating everything in the single file now, main.tf. Okay, how to create this, give this AMI, T3 micro or something. Okay, then use the data script and other configuration, and also SSH port open, ingress values. Okay, so this way you can just use the ChatGPT prompt with this share. So normally how you are using same method or a different way? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not getting why, so I'm just confused.
We're just listening to you.
Okay. So this is the basically sample prompt. You can use this way. If we simply ask like create like or how to create EC2 instance in AWS. If you search like this simple word, so he might be gives us random generic answer, not the structure way like we have seen above. Okay. So if you provide the proper requirements in the prompt, so he will gives the exact step what you need to perform basically. So he will just give the generic steps here. Okay, clear Ganesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which method you using now? Just normal asking the question or just structure way?
Structure where I will be using because it is very easy and understandable. Also
Hmm.
for the multiple troubleshootings we are doing. So that's the
Hmm.
reason I'll be using that way.
Yeah, if you give the proper requirements, so he will give the proper output. If you just normally ask generic questions, so it's based on that or his knowledge, he can just give the generic steps. But if you keep the proper instruction, so he will give that kind of answers there.
Because thing is that whatever you are saying like that now, how to handle that? Yeah, 2 3 days before I am facing the issues, some of the issues
Hmm.
for the SDDC manager for the VP. So that time I'm not able to handle the chat GPT. My manager is saying like that use the chat GPT, I use the chat GPT, but still stuck. So that's the reason we need to involve the VMware team, GSS
Hmm.
teams, and after that we can resolve the issue. But it is impact around 30 minutes downtime we need to face.
Okay. Okay, we will see some short introduction today, and from tomorrow we will see about this other section like account overview, billing management, and the budget. So who for you it's already covered. So but for the Rohit, Ryan, the Ravinder who joined recently, so for them it will be a first time. So basically, when we consider as a cloud provider, which is we have seen earlier, so AWS cloud, Azure cloud, or GCP cloud. Okay. Apart from this, there might be there are multiple clouds: Ali Cloud, Oracle, or the IBM. Okay. So these are the market leaders, the AWS and Azure. Okay, and the Google Cloud obviously. So basically, when we look at this definition, like what is the cloud computing? Okay, is that a data stored on the clouds? So definitely not. So cloud computing is basically the model which data is actually present in your actual data center, who is the managing by the cloud providers. It might be your Azure, or AWS, or GCP. Okay, but as an end customer, so what benefits we will get by using cloud computing? So we can use our compute power, EC2, your networking part, VPC, your database like RDS, or other lots of there are lots of services in the cloud solution. Okay, AWS cloud, for example. So all the services we can manage through the internet from our local wherever anywhere from the across the global. Okay, by using our laptop or desktop, even from the mobile as well. So that is the benefit by using cloud computing. We can manage all the infrastructure by using our own machine over the internet. Okay, we don't need to go any physical data center and manage the servers like if we have seen in the virtualization concept, like the people who are managing the storage network there, they actually involve in the storage activity like replacing the hard drive, replacing the any hardware component like RAM or CPU or something, whatever the components are corrupted over there, or just daily activities like once storage drive backup completed, so he can just pull out that storage from the servers and he can just replace new one. Okay, the ISP seen in the people in the data center, which is Tata Communication. Okay, so there was a separate storage team, so they do this kind of activity. But as a cloud computing model, as a customer, we don't need to do this kind of activities. We can manage everything from the console. Okay, so that is the benefit of that is the concept of the cloud computing here. Okay, as I said, we can manage like your database, storage, network, your firewall, even. Okay, so we don't need to keep the separate person for the firewall or the networking part. We as a DevOps engineer or cloud engineer, we can also manage these stuffs by using this concept. Okay, so benefit of this using cloud computing basically. So we can see in the traditional era, so where the giving the quotation, purchasing the any hardware machine, so it might be a lots of time consuming because we also need to verify the different cost from the different vendor. But in the AWS cloud itself, we can just use internet to quickly we can just compare the pricing for what, for let's say for the EC2 instance, how much charges is charging for the AWS side, then Azure side, or other stuffs. Okay, based on our project requirement, where how we design the architecture, we can just decide like how we can save and who will give the benefits of the cost. Because when you do the startup in the as a normal user, we will not get that much benefit of the cost effective. But when you do any startup, so I think company will give some their amount like credits to use their services. Okay, as a startup organization. So there is a different thing. You need to show your legal organization, all the agreements, all the stuffs are there definitely. But you can use that credits as initial period. So in the normal use cases, we don't need to go to the market and take the different vendors quotations and just compare the pricing and the purchase the hardware. Okay, even we get the quotation and giving the approval for the purchase from the finance team. Okay, then it might take some days, like 2 days, week or something, depends upon the hardware availability in their centers. Okay, so that might be a time consuming process. So other benefit is like, let's say you have a requirement is very small. like you need 16 GB RAM or something and the 500 GB storage, but you purchase the hardware more than that. Okay, but your actual use case is very low, so so it will unnecessarily waste the cost of the hardware machine basically to purchase that hardware machine. And apart from this, elasticity means in the AWS we can just redo increase or decrease the servers anytime without any major downtime or impact. Okay, as we have seen in the last time, how we can quickly just stop a servers and change the instance type configuration basically. Okay, and globally deploy means basically we can just deploy in any region. Okay, I will come to that part. What is the region? Okay, so these are the benefits of the cloud computing. Like we can manage and create the services within a few clicks. Okay, we don't need to travel for the any data center and just install it or do OS installation over there and just do other activities like updation and other stuffs. Okay, network configuration. If you already if you have knowledge on the or work on the data center or something, so definitely we can save the times and efforts there. Okay, no major manpower or resource required as a cloud computing. As a single person can manage all the infrastructure. Okay, you can see in the no projects. We might there might be a few teams who are handling the all the stuff infrastructure. Some projects there might be a single DevOps engineer or might be a couple of teams. Okay, it's depend on the project complexity and the organization to organization. Okay, how much manpower they are getting. So no advance payment required. So normally in traditional era, we can see they need to pay the payment or 10 days creditability. Depends on their agreement basically, 15 days or something. But in cloud itself, we can just use the service right now. After the 1 month, we can just they will generate the bill every first of the month. Okay, then we will get some time to pay the bills. So we can get at least 30 days over there without making any additional agreement. Okay, we can scale up or down quickly according to our requirements. Let's say we launch the servers with the 4 GB RAM, but our use cases is very low, like 1 GB or 2 GB. So based on that, we can just quickly scale down it. Okay, if that is not use cases. If let's say we created the servers with the 2 GB and we want to make it more, like our use cases is increase, we require 4 GB or more than that. So we can quickly increase that servers. Okay, there. So we don't need to go to the market, purchase hardware RAM and just make a shutdown the servers, then just remove the component and just plug it again. Okay. So that is the benefit of using cloud computing. Then obviously complete control on infrastructure. So we can make a complete control on the infrastructure side. Okay. As a customer or user basically. Okay. This is just sample picture of the data center where the racks are available, blade servers. Okay. It's very thin size and everywhere you can see the power setups, the cooling. Okay, from the ground area. Okay, so security wise definitely they maintain the high security to protect the data center. Okay, no drones or physical entries allowed if you don't have any. Let's say if you want to enter in the particular data center, so you need to show the proper approval mails from your manager. Okay, then only you will get the entry in that. Obviously, there are certain physical checks also scanning and something. In the last session, Siddharth said like they also not allowed to carry the gold as well. Okay, in the data center. So this is the sample picture of the servers, blade servers. Okay, so you can see the RAM here, RAM slot, CPU, and other stuffs here. Okay, slots. But as a cloud computing, we don't need to touch this kind of hardware machine there. Okay, so we can just simply work on whatever the project we have. Okay, so these are the some benefits of the cloud computing. So any doubts till now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so now we can see this cloud computing model like infrastructure as a service, then platform as a service, and software as a service. You might already heard about this word SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Okay, so infrastructure as a service. In short, I will give you the description basically. In the infrastructure as a service, as a customer, we don't need to take care about the underlying hardware system. Like their purchasing part, their data center management, cooling system like that. Okay, they will manage by their cloud providers, like for example AWS or Azure. Okay, so we as a customer we don't need to responsible for that things. Okay, so as a customer we need to take care about the which OS we can take during the launch of the EC2 instance, then how to patch that OS, okay, how to maintain the security in the security groups or installation of the any packages, patching or any backup management. Therefore, that we are the responsible as a customer. Okay, underlying system they will manage by the providers basically. Okay, as I said in the description here, like create and manage cloud services, VM, storage, VPC. For this setup, we are the responsible for as a customers. Okay. The example of this infrastructure as a service, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Okay, and for the platform as a service, the cloud provides platform developer to create and run their applications. Okay, so platform as a service. If you heard about the some services, I will show you the some example here. Okay, Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda function, RDS, Azure. So in the platform as a service, as a customer, we don't need to take care about the underlying hardware system here. Okay, also you don't need to install any packages over there. Okay, we will get by default predefined. We just need to select the runtime like let's say if you're already aware about this beanstalk or lambda function or RDS, even clusters, okay, EKS clusters or Google App Engine. So as a customer, we don't need to take care the underlying hardware system. We just need to use the runtime like in the lambda function, which runtime we need. Runtime is what we need Java there or Node.js or any PHP based applications. Okay, whatever the our requirement, like if you want to deploy any PHP based application, so when we create the beanstalk we can just select that. There is a configuration available, I will show you in the next couple of session. Okay, how we can select, but as a baseline we don't need to take care about that. We can just simply use our code and we can just simply set up just normal settings and we can use that. Okay, so for the RDS, it's a database service. If you go to the traditional area like Linux machine, EC2 instance normal, okay. So you need to create your Linux machine, okay, instance there. Then you need to install the normal execute the command like we have seen yum update or apt-get update. Then install the MySQL packages there. Then restart the MySQL service, okay. And you need to create the users and other normal settings. So all the steps you need to do in the normal traditional area. But in the platform as a service, when you use RDS service, for example, so you don't need to install any Linux package there to install the database service or MySQL or Postgres. You will get all the stuffs ready made. Okay, just you need to create the proper structure like which OS version or sorry database version you need like MySQL or Postgres. Okay, we have seen in the last session, but I will show you in the next as well. So we just need to select the version there, then VPC section, subnet group, and other settings. So these are the part we are the responsible as a customer. Okay, but at the underlying base system and the platform we don't need to take care as a customer. So cloud provider will take care that patching activity and other stuffs. Okay, all the patching activity also performed by the platform as a service. Now coming to the software as a service. Okay, so basically it's a as a customer we also don't need to take care about the underlying hardware system platforms. Okay, what they are doing and the patching activity, all the stuffs. Okay, so that will completely handled by the uh, providers basically. Okay, we can use their only services like for example like Office 365, Google Drive, Gmail, your Slack, Slack or Microsoft Teams, WebEx meetings. Okay, so as a customer we don't need to take care about their patching activity, OS creation, their hardening, security, all the stuffs they will handle by the providers basically. Okay, so for example in Gmail or Google Drive we not do anything, right? We can just simply use their services. So as a customer, we don't need to take care about the whatever the infrastructure they are managing. They will manage by their own. Okay. So these are some examples here for the cloud computing models. You can see in the infrastructure as a service. These are the providers basically Azure, Amazon, OpenStack, Alibaba Cloud, Rackspace, and the other stuffs. Okay. Platform as a service, your Elastic Beanstalk, Doku, and the software as a service, your YouTube channel. sorry, YouTube, Netflix or other stuffs. Okay, mailing mail server, your Google Drive or something, and your Twitter as well. So these are the some examples. So any questions on that in the cloud computing model?
No, sir.
On that, you might get very rare question, not the frequently, like what are the cloud computing model or something. Okay, there might be depend on the interview panel if they ask in that situation, but you will get no not a frequently questions on that. So now coming to the six pillars of the AWS well architect framework. These are the if you are cloud engineer or DevOps engineer, we need to follow some certain process. Even let's say if you are building our own house, okay, for example, so we will build proper way, right? We will do approvals from the PCMC according to their structure and the legal permissions and the basement. We purchase very good quality product there, okay, because we want secure house as a, okay. So the same concept like in the when we build something in the AWS infrastructure. So similar way, we need a proper scalable infrastructure. It's not something like we created the single server and we are running very critical application over there. So what will happen if that single server fails? We will lose our customer trust, okay, and obviously business as well. So that's why the AWS suggested some framework there, okay. So this you will on this you might get the intro questions, okay, when you face the real-time interview preparation. But at a architecture or a cloud engineer or DevOps engineer, we need to take care of this things when we design any architecture. Okay, when like a scalability, like your instance should be scalable, like you can use auto scaling feature or something, which is called as a vertical horizontal scaling there. Okay, so that is the part. Security is obviously you as a security best practice or compliance. We don't need to open unnecessary security port over there, like your MySQL port should not be open publicly. Okay, it should be restricted to the specific VPN IP address, whatever in the projects VPN IP there in the organization. Okay, and also SSH port or any other critical ports you should not open publicly unnecessary. Okay, if your external facing application you are using like your web servers, okay, like Flipkart or Amazon something, so definitely in that case you can use only HTTP and HTTPS packet based on the architecture model, like three tier architecture. Okay, we will see after the batch complete for the real time project three tier architecture how we can design. Okay, so because in the interview you might get that question, how you can design the three tier architecture. Okay, so security also the important part over there, performance efficiency, then cost optimization. Okay, how you can maintain the cost. You don't need to create the blindly any servers like the requirement is 2 GB for the servers, for example, but you are creating unnecessary 4 GB or 8 GB servers over there, and you are using 100 GB storage space, EBS volume, hard drive. Okay, so that is not a good practice when we consider this well architecture framework model. Okay, these are the recommendation by the AWS. Okay, so we need to, as a customer, we need to follow this six pillars of the AWS basically. Okay, so if you look at this global infrastructure, because AWS is not present only in India or US or something. So they have their infrastructure across the global. Okay. So if you look at this picture here, we can see the regions which is already deployed and working properly, functional basically in the across the globe. You can see the region wise New Zealand, Australia, the Singapore side, India. Okay, and the UAE side, UK side, and the North Virginia, US side, okay, and the Canada, okay. So these are the some regions are there across the global world, and these are the coming soon section. But as I said, this is the older image. Let me just show the updated one. So you can see here, if you search AWS global infrastructure, you will get that. Okay. So as of now, they have a 33 launch regions, okay, availability zones, and the other CloudFront pops. Okay. So you can see the latest diagram here. The coming soon section, you can see if you just move the circle, your circle here, mouse circle basically, you will see the coming soon region. So it is something like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And then if you look at this Singapore, one more, I think they want to launch Thailand. Okay, this is coming in the Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia, Thailand, then your UAE, Saudi Arabia, and here is Germany. Okay, and one more coming is here Mexico. Okay, so why they deploy everywhere? Because obviously the business point of view also there, the consideration, but apart from that, they want to make more business and they want to increase the customers to fulfill the requirements. So if we are the customers, we are using services in India. So why we need to deploy the services outside India, like UK, US or something? Okay, so we can just choose the nearest region here. In India, we have two regions, Hyderabad and the Mumbai. Okay, you can also see in here the launch date. In Mumbai, it's launched 2016, and in Hyderabad 2022. Okay, so I will come to that part. What is the regions and the availability zones? Okay, so you can just refer this page as well for the more details. So any questions till now? Anyone? Rohit?
No, sir.
Okay. So as we have seen in the global architecture, we have seen about the region and availability zones. So basically your region should be your like will be like your city or any country. Okay. It's basically geographical location where they have deployed their data center. Okay. Amazon data center basically. Okay. In the regions, there might be a different availability zones. Okay. So when we what is the availability zones? It's basically your physical data center. Let's say in Mumbai, we have a three availability zones. Okay. You can see in this picture. So one availability zone means one physical data center, another means another physical data center. You can see like this. Okay. So why they maintain this different availability zones? As we have seen the framework model here. Okay. So this recommended to use your infrastructure scalability and the other sustainability. So let's say our applications, very critical applications running on the single servers, if that gets corrupt any or fail basically because of any mistakes or maybe due to the natural calamities, earthquake or something, or any war situation or any other stuffs like terror attack something. So that data center might collapse, right? In that situation. So as a customer, we need to make our service flexible. So let's say in when we design our load balancer, that is a concept comes in the picture. When we configure the load balancer, we will see in the coming session. Okay. So when we configure this load balancer, let me draw here. So it will gives better idea. So let's say we have this load balancer. So load balance will just route the distribute the load basically. Okay, to the different system. So here is the load balancer. Okay, let's say we have this single server here. If this got crash because of any system, this is available in the availability zones 1. Okay, and this server created in the different availability zones. Okay, 2. Let's say due to any issues like war or any terror attack or something, natural calamities, earthquake or something. So this data center completely destroyed. Okay. So what will happen as a business or as a customers? We already maintain this scalability or high availability on different regions. Okay. Sorry, different availability zones. So our service will not impact. Okay. Our service will run from the secured another data center. Okay. Even this data center got crashed. Okay. That is the reason they maintain the different availability zones there. So at least customer data or business will not majorly impact. Okay. But as a customer, our responsibility is to maintain the infrastructure in high available, like in one availability zones, we can create one servers and different availability zones. we can create another servers. Okay, so we will see in coming session how we can define this different availability zones. Okay. I'm planning to share this PPT basically notes, as I said, in the Google Drive. I will add in the notes section. Okay, so you can just later part you can just refer that as well. So region is basically your separate geographical location. It can be your city or country. Okay, where the you might seen the different availability zones. So availability zones means that are connected with the low latency, high throughput network. Okay, physical cable basically. Uh, and availability zone is like your separate data center, as I said. Okay, which has they maintaining like separate on cooling power, network connectivity, and other stuffs. Even we our server got crashed from the availability zones one, so we can still maintain keep and running our application from the different availability zones. Okay, so you can see there are pops basically. So when we use CloudFront service for the caching perspective to serve the content with the low latency and the high optimized way speed basically when to across the global users. So in that case we use CloudFront. Okay, we will understand that when we start the session on that CloudFront. Okay, so these are the some other agent caches in India. I think we have a Delhi, Chennai or something. The pops are there. CloudFront we can deploy the CloudFront are there. It's similar to data center, normal data center, but we can't launch directly a normal situation there. Okay, that is only used for the your CloudFront service. Okay, and the elastic cache memory cache service. So any doubts till now?
Sir, Mumbai or Hyderabad are both region or availability zone?
They are region.
Okay. And what is cache service?
Cache is basically in the real time cases. Let's say let me draw here. Let's say you have this service. Okay, your EC2 or whatever service that are there. Your application is hosted here. Okay, website, and this is present in the India. Let's say Mumbai. Okay, so your customer might be from the across the globe. Okay, not even not only from the India. There might be your UK, your US, okay, or any other region like Canada or something. So what will happen if the normal customer use these applications? They might seen any performance issues or latency issues. They might feel like website is loading something slow or something. Okay, so to avoid this kind of situation, the CloudFront will come into the picture. So when we design this CloudFront on the top of this load balancer or this EC2, okay, so we use that service. And so what will happen? Let's say this is for the CDN service like CloudFront. Okay, so here if normal user first time visit from the UK or US or any other location, okay, this location basically to your website, first time he might seen the latency like very high, like in milliseconds, let's say 10 milliseconds or 20 something, depends on, just for example, 10 milliseconds it takes loading time. But when if he try to hit same website another second time, so what will happen? First time the content will not cache on the CDN servers. Okay, but second time when you try to hit that same applications, your request will not go directly to this application servers or load balancer. Your request will route to the CDN server because the data is already cached there, whatever you data need. Okay, and then you will get the response from here as well. So in that situation, your latency will reduce like 5 milliseconds or 2 milliseconds. Just for the example, I'm just giving here. So to give more optimization way and the latency, we can use CloudFront there. So there are multiple options. When we do actual session on that, we will see that part. But just to reduce the latency issues, we can use that cache service, content caching for the CDN. In AWS, you can see the CloudFront service, but in normal cases, Akamai is one of the famous provider, content delivery network, CDN service. Any more doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So I think that's all for the today's session. So tomorrow we might cover about this just account overview, then billing part. Okay, how we can check the bills, reports, how we can set up the budgets, and we can then we can just moving to the another part like how to check the costing part, calculators, how we can use that. Okay, there are lots of options. I will show you the main part which we can just refer through, and instance configuration for the EC2 section. Yeah, I think that's all for the today's session. So if anyone has any doubts, any doubts from anyone before wrap up?
No, sir. Not for mine.
Okay. Rohit,
सर पैचिंग क्या होता है सर ये?
patching we can use to let's say we are managing the normal EC2 instance. Okay. So normally day-to-day activities, there might be a versioning updation comes in the updates, right? Let's say you are using version, let's say for the Linux, sorry, any package like MySQL package, you are using 5.6, but the latest any new features added there with the new version like 5.6, 6 point something, and this 5.7 or something. Okay, in that case, we need to update that package. Okay, by following some certain process like standard process approval and the DBA. We need to involve the DBA team as well there. And for the Linux patching, we might need actually command is the normal command like yum update or apt-get update. Company might follow the other process like they might use any IBM paid tool, or sometimes they use system manager. We can see here system manager, there is act option patch manager. So patch the in short basically to update any kind of package version, you can just call it as a patch manager, patching basically. So because day by day they will launch new minor version or major version, right? So in that case we need to keep update their latest version to maintain the security, or they might come any vulnerabilities into the specific version. So they might suggest to us as a customer, you need to upgrade this package version. Okay, so in that case, we need to update that package version. We can do normal command as well, or sometimes company use any paid tool there for the patching activities.
Okay.
Okay, any other? Because this section we already
No.
covered, so there might be a not question from the other sides.
Okay. No issues.
Yeah. Yeah, then we can continue tomorrow for the other topics. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.